Hello everyone and welcome to Game Over TV. Today I'll be solo casting. So starting up here in the top right we have the Zerg player TvZ and our red Terran spawning in the bottom left. He is MillForGG. Now I haven't seen much of either one of these players playing recently, so this should be pretty interesting. Hyun, known for his pretty unorthodox styles, and then we have ForGG on the other side, who's really good, kind of the elephant in the room, but recently moved back to Europe, has been here back and forth between Europe and Korea, really focused on international tournaments versus GSL, say, and things like that. So interesting to see what kind of style he's gonna go for. We've been seeing the Hellbats and mech being really used, but he's always been one of those guys that really showed mech to be really a valuable style to learn, but he also has really great bio play, so I'm really interested to see what he does with mech. Mech, probably Terran's most useful strategy right now in Heart of the Swarm. Only thing is that Zergs are starting to learn how to deal with it. Swarm host being one answer, but Vipers being the second. Vipers being a very useful thing to use against mech style, just with the ability to use that blinding cloud. It stops all tank fire, and it's just can be really devastating if it hits really well. So we'll see what kind of style Hyun goes for. This is with the recent patch, so that making so Hellbats have to be need the upgrade to transform or have to be constructed in Hellbat mode. So no gas is taken for ForGG, so it looks like we're going to have just a normal one rack expand. And on Hyung's side, we do see him just dropping the pool at a very standard time after going 15 hatch and getting a fairly normal gas, so he's probably just going to want to get speed. And on ForGG side, we see him trying to take down this neutral supply depot. Now, most Terrans, you want to put a bunker here, that making the Zerglings have to come all the way around so to get the bunker, and you can also wall it off in the front. So key is to just always take this down early on, and then Zerg, it doesn't really matter. But one thing that really grinds my gears about this map, just the way it's set up, is that like this isn't close, right? This one is close. I don't know. It's really just a weird thing. Like, you missed it by a pixel. You had one job and you missed it. But ForGG did get a nice scout off there. He did use his whole. So on Hyung's side, he hasn't seen the command center yet. But they look at ForGG's vision. He has seen the gas. He's seen the spawning pool. So he does know what Hyung's going for here. Pretty standard opening wing. This is more even just for Wings of Liberty opening. Fairly standard. ForGG did go double gas after dropping the command center, which will force him to go to factory. Looks like you're probably just going to get some Hellions out. Still a smart choice. You can open bio, but opening Hellions is still really good against Zerg, forcing them into roaches, forcing them to build units. Like if we look at Hyung's base right now, he has no spine crawler, no wall yet, so a lot of Hellions can still do a lot of damage. But he is getting speed, which will help him a lot. Now, I found this kind of interesting. He built a bunker on the top. That's weird. You could put it here in a wall, and it's fairly good. Roach all-in still fairly decent. So he may be worried about some sort of roach all-in, but not 100% sure. But I think that just because he saw the gas, he's probably trying to play this a little safe. That way, if he does see some kind of roach aggression, he can just force the lift up here. Yeah, the Hyung has gone up to 3 queens, so still fairly standard. Just taking down that neutral supply depot. And he is going up to 4 gases, so looks like he's going to go pretty tech heavy here, going up to lair. And no roach warren or anything dropped just yet, so it's probably going to be, I'm going to want to say Mutilus, just because 4 gas is usually really telling of a Mutilus style, but you never know. Heart of the Swarm is a newer game, so there's some different builds that can be used. And on ForGG's side, we see him just opening the standard Hellion Banshee into whatever style he chooses. No third CC has been constructed by ForGG here, so kind of an interesting way of playing. A lot of times you see Terrans go for a quick third behind this. Maybe they're just finding it not as useful now with the new way the game's going. And actually, we do see an infestation pit, which is I find is really weird. Now you don't see a lot of players rush into infestors like you did in Wings of Liberty, just because the new infestor change is not as good. They're not as powerful, and infested Terrans aren't as useful as they once were. They're okay early on in the game, but later the game goes, they kind of get pretty bad. So you see a lot of Zergs not going for them as much, but he's going for infestors, and he still hasn't got any kind of evolution chambers, which is really weird. It's a good thing ForGG didn't go like early double eBay or something like that, because he doesn't really have Hyun would be fall behind so fast on upgrades. But on ForGG's side, we're seeing he's taking a third command center. Hyun does see this double armory coming down, so it is going to be a mech build. But yeah, just both players, I'm kind of surprised. Neither one of them going for many upgrades, more going for just pure units. Kind of an interesting choice. I'm wondering how this is going to play out, because mech is the answer to infestors Zerglin pretty easily and pretty one-sided, and I'm not really sold on Hyun's style right now, just because that's something that did work in Wings of Liberty. We got two Banshees up here in the top doing some harassment, getting that one Queen down. Hyun actually has no spores. He does have these infestors though. Gets the fungal down on the two, but there's no units in place. The Queens are trying to run back as fast as they can, but I think he will eventually clean this up. Only getting 3 workers there, so not a huge win for GG, but he did show that he did have infestors. There is no kind of Mutalisk on the map, and just kind of revealing Hyun's tech fairly early, probably earlier than he wanted. ForGG now just getting up his third base, getting his 5th and 6th gas, and then just going in the mass factory right now. I'm kind of surprised he doesn't have a wall or some sort here, just in case of some kind of Zerg run by, but he must feel pretty confident in his play. So we do see 1-1 upgrades coming from ForGG. Now he hasn't got any of the upgrades yet, so Drone Claws or the transformation. So he is building Hellbats in Hellbat mode, which they cannot transform back into Hellions until he gets that upgrade. So we'll have to see if he gets that upgrade later on in the game, or maybe he goes for a mix of the two. And on Hyun's side, we see him, he's just macroing up. He's on 6 gases, so he's pretty confident in his style. He's got a lot of infestors, and a big infestor attack coming here at the third. A lot of infested Terrans dropped, a lot of Zerglins. Looks like the Hellions were just forced to retreat. That base was picked up right away. Not a lot of workers were killed. He got 4, so not a huge deal. But looks like that barracks is burning down. But you know, that did some damage, but I don't think that was severe enough for what Hyun was looking for. But we're seeing him in some Hellions here trying to go into the third, get some drone kills, but we're forwarded away by some infestors, and we're seeing Hyun just continuing to build infestors. He must be really confident in infestors, because every Zerg and most of the Zergs I've been playing recently have not they're like, infestors are bad, why would you ever build them? So it might just be like Wings of Liberty, where they're not actually they're not terrible, it's just you haven't been learned where their place is in the game yet. But yeah, so there was a burrowed Zerglin there that I showed you there, so you just had to use a scan, get that base up, and Hyun's double expanding right now, trying to take the 4th and a 5th down here. But he doesn't really have any beef to his army. He with ForGG coming right now, he's got pretty much the units to counter this, so I don't know if Hyun should be fighting here. A lot of infested Terrans being dropped, but I don't know. Hellbats are pretty good against these kind of units. They're light. They get a big bonus against light, and look at that, just pushing right on through. All these infestors are out of energy, so this is not looking too well for Hyun. We do see 13 roaches in production, and he's going to need those to come out ASAP to deal with this army. And still dropping more infested Terrans, but I don't think think he needs to save it for Fungal just to hold these units back. But you know, this one Viking going over the Overlords, gonna get those double Evos. And I will note that he is on 1-1. He just started the 2-2 now, so he does have an upgrade advantage against these roaches. And Hyun just kind of stepping into the fire there. Oh my god, so many infestors going down there. That is not what you want to see as a Zerg player. That is like every Zerg's worst nightmare. And this base is pretty much taken out. He might get this one. He's only got a few tanks. Oh, he's got a big reinforcement down here, so he needs to get those into the fight right now. These roaches trying to push out, but there are slow roaches. Speed was just started now. And I feel like a lack of scouting on Hyung's side kind of... It looked like he didn't know about the mech. He just didn't know that ForGG was going for this composition. All the drones were taken down. 29 drones killed for ForGG. And he is going to get this base. This base is starting to get mined, but Hyung has been reset back to 3 bases. And on ForGG's side, we do see him starting a 4th. And he's really just going tank Hellbat with a few Vikings here and there. I feel like if Hyung had have went up to lair, maybe got some Vipers, it would have been a better choice. Or Swarmos. Yeah, I feel like Infestors are okay. 1 or 2, couple good Fungals, you can really trade armies. But I feel like the Mass Infestor is kind of you're banking on your opponent not playing mech. And I guess maybe Hyung's played ForGG a couple times recently. Maybe he's seen that ForGG doesn't play a lot of mech, but it didn't work out for him this time. These roaches are going across map. Looks like they're going to try and do a counterattack here at the 3rd, while Hyung tries to get this 3rd base back up and running. But I don't think that's going to work out too well. Tanks are siege. He's got a tower. He's going to see this coming. Those roaches, look at the bodies just flying everywhere. And yeah, that didn't work out as well. And I will note still, these units are still at 0-0, and 2-2 is about to finish up for ForGG. So at this point, it's almost as if he could pretty much just move across the map and take out these roaches, because these roaches don't have speed still. Speed was canceled and restarted, I'm guessing, by the timer. We still have 1-1 just now starting for Hyung, and this is like a worst case scenario as Zerg. Zerg should never be this far behind on upgrades, especially against Terran. And ForGG now just starting 3-3, and things are not looking too good on Hyung's side. Looks like a big infested Terran drop plus roaches. We're able to clean up this small contingent of tanks up at the top, but I don't know, not looking too good. He's got, let's just check the unit tab here, and 14 tanks, 15 Hellbats, 4 Vikings versus 4 infestors, 19 roaches, and a couple queens. Not looking too good here. And there goes one of the infestors. So Hyung forced to pull all his drones away from that base, trying to retake his 3rd, but I don't know. Big counterattack of roaches going up to the main here, but ForGG sees it coming, pulls all his units back, and yeah, that's not a very good counterattack right now. This base is taken out. Looks like all those roaches just trying to get across the map didn't work out. Oh my god, that tank shot! Oh my. And then back at Hyung, ForGG's base, Hyung is doing damage to the 3rd base. He is killing off a lot of ForGG's workers. ForGG is pretty much not mining at this point. He's only mining off 1.5 bases. But this army is just, Hyung does not have the units to fight this. And oh, there goes his upgrades. His only upgrades he got all game, and they're not happening. But yeah, this looks like checkmate at this point. Hyung has no units. He's down 30 supply, and that supply is pretty much all in drones, and they just had a barbecue over here. Oh my. And looks like Hyung was going to try maybe some drop play or use these as a distraction, but these tanks, 2-2 tanks, about to be 3-3 tanks, just eat alive 0-0 roaches. So it looks like ForGG is going to take this game fairly one-sided, and I feel like Hyung just did not play a newer style to deal with the new mech units of ForGG, and yeah, just good play on both sides. It's just Hyun kind of banked on ForGG playing bio, and it didn't happen. Anyways, thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe. Follow us on Facebook at GameIsOverTV. Follow us on Twitter, RR_GameOver. Like, follow, subscribe. It would help us out a lot. And thanks for watching.